And that picture is awesome when you got the 2 belts and the Grand Prix belt. That picture with you with all 3, that's just like the best picture.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Man, like what an accomplishment to be able to do that. But like you mentioned, the Fedor knockout. Obviously, you're going up in weight class. He's a heavyweight. He's probably the greatest heavyweight of all time. You know, he's arguably one of the greatest fighters of all time. And you were able to get the KO. What was it like knocking out Fedor, the greatest heavyweight of all time?
That one was definitely a fun fight. I didn't expect him to. Well, he's always fairly. He goes right at, when the bell starts. He starts fighting. You know, I didn't expect him to be that aggressive from the bell. You know, I think I kind of slowed him down when I stuck out my hand to touch gloves, and then he started trying to knock my head off. So, you know, that was the funniest part to me about it. It was like, holy shit, you know, here he comes. And you know, I think I hit him with a left hook and backed him up, and I think that's when he figured out that the little guy can hit hard too.
Big time, because you see that
Yes.
one part of the fight, he's like he almost falls back when he catches himself from your left.
Yeah, yeah, that was literally right the first flurry that he came trying to knock my head off.
Man, it's 4 minute fight, but it's almost like 20 minutes of action, and with like 4 minutes, it's just bing bang. I mean, you guys don't stop. That's one of the best fights. Just unbelievable fight.
Yeah, it was definitely a good one. He definitely hits hard though. I had some knots on the side of my head just from being in the clinch with him just barely hitting my head, you know, and had some big knots on it.
How does that finish happen? That's just crazy to think. You know how hard he hits, obviously, but how does that finish happen? Because he's on you, he thinks he has you. You almost like hook his right leg and almost come up underneath. Like, how did that finish happen? Because it seemed like it happened out of nowhere.
You know, I do that all the time as far as getting up off the bottom, either a single leg or just tossing like an underhook, kind of throwing him over, and you know, he just didn't expect that, and his balance wasn't. He was kind of leaning forward, trying to punch me, I guess. And when I made him lean farther forward, he had to post his hands on the ground, and I popped out the side and threw a nice punch right up to his chin. So it worked out good. It's not a punch that I practice all the time, but I know that it's there. But you know, I guess the guy didn't. You know, it's hard to see coming from that angle.
Especially when he thought he had you finished. So he's like really overly aggressive, left himself open. That uppercut, I mean, that just knocks his lights out basically. Which great uppercut out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, it was, and yeah, he. I wasn't dazed, but he just was bum rushing me and got me off balance. I was backing up, bent over, and he kind of knocked me on my ass. And you know, saw him coming at me and grabbed a single leg and kind of weathered a little bit of a storm and popped out.
Pretty amazing. KO win over Wanderlei and Fedor, two of arguably the greatest of all time. I mean, right then and there. I mean, that's just a resume builder right there. Just unbelievable just to look
Yeah,
at.
those are probably the two fights that I'm most proud of.